How do so many people seem to get so much done in a single day that it doesn't even seem possible? Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, but it seems like the most successful people have so much more time than everyone else. How does this work? Some kids are able to run 100K plus businesses per month while still in high school. Businessmen like Alex Hormozy are able to run $100 million plus businesses and still have time to work out and have quality time with their family. So what do all these highly successful people have in common? Shouldn't they be busier throughout the day and have less time to do as much stuff as they really do? Well, it comes down to this: having structure and consistent schedule. They don't make exceptions or negotiate. They follow the exact same routine every single day and every single night. So how can we as regular people apply these principles in our own lives? For the longest time, I would go to school, go to sports practices, go to work, and I would convince myself that I had no extra time to do anything else. But really, I had a lot of free time in my life that I didn't even realize I had. And what did I do with that time? Well, I would scroll on my phone. No, it wasn't even that bad. I wasn't on my phone 24/7. I had time limits, and I was probably even on my phone less than the average person. But those small 5-minute scrolling breaks would add up throughout the day. I would be watching something, be distracted by something else while I was doing my homework, and that would turn 20 or 30-minute tasks into sometimes over an hour worth of work that I could have gotten done much faster. Eventually, I got to a point where I was constantly distracted, my attention span was cooked, and stuff I used to find enjoyable didn't entertain me anymore. It was so much harder for me to focus on simple tasks like reading a book without getting sidetracked, working on a homework assignment for an extended period of time, or even scripting a video like this one. I had dreams I was wanting to chase, but I kept telling myself I'd do them once baseball was over, or once the summer started and school was over. But then I'd just have a new excuse when the summer came around. It was just this constant cycle of ultimately procrastinating what I actually wanted to do by convincing myself that I didn't have enough time. I didn't realize that I had so much time that I was wasting. I just thought this is how it's supposed to be. I thought it was normal. But then I saw so many people online that had time to get their dream physique while working on their business, while doing so many other things, and it just seemed like there was a way for me to do it, but I couldn't figure it out. So I decided to structure my life like a 7-figure entrepreneur for a little while to see what would happen. Here's exactly what I did step by step and what I learned from it. So step 1, I cut out all dopamine traps. It sounds extreme, but it's what had to happen. My brain was getting fried from softcore media addiction, and I had to go completely cold turkey to reset it. I set a 5-minute limit on Instagram so that I would still be able to post while not having enough time to scroll or do anything that could be messing up my dopamine. I completely deleted TikTok and decided to stop watching YouTube Shorts. I still used YouTube, but I only used it for long form, productive, educational content that I could watch while I was in the sauna at the gym or doing something like that. I would switch out my scrolling time and my watch time to listen to podcasts, which would help me articulate myself better, help me understand other people that have already done what I wanted to do, and really learn from them and learn valuable skills that I can apply into my everyday life. Step 2, I decided to go to bed and wake up at the exact same time every day. For my entire life so far, I'm sure just like you watching, I would go to bed around the same time on school nights, maybe around 9 or 10 p.m., and then I'd wake up at the same time for school every day around 6. But then when Friday and Saturday came around, I would stay out late with my friends, sleep in the next day to catch up on the sleep that I had missed throughout the week. Maybe I was up late doing assignments and was sleep deprived. And I ultimately had no structure. My body didn't know what time to set my sleep cycle for, so many nights I would be up late, laying in bed just thinking because I wasn't tired, or I'd be trying to stay up and couldn't keep myself awake and needed to take a nap or something because I was so tired and couldn't function. So this is why catching up on sleep doesn't work the next day. Your body needs routines. So think about it this way. Would it make sense that if you only got 4 hours of sleep last night, that your body would see that and tonight decide to produce twice as much growth hormone? To me, that just doesn't make sense, and that isn't scientifically accurate. Your body produces the same amount of hormones every night and the same recovery pathways that help you feel rejuvenated when you wake up. And if you miss that one night or mess up the rhythm one night, then your body's going to freak out and not be able to make up for it. You ultimately lose a lot of progress and you can't really get it back the next day by just sleeping later. So if you consistently go to bed at the same time every night, your body's going to get into the system where it can produce the hormones and the repair pathways necessary at night at the exact same time every day, which is ultimately going to make the process much more productive, much more efficient, and much more stable over the long term. If you keep compounding good nights on top of good nights, then your body's going to become more efficient, produce better sleep overall, and overall just make your entire life feel much, much better. How do you practically apply this? So think about it this way. If you keep saying yes to going on random side quests late at night with your friends, hanging out, staying up late, pulling all-nighters, whatever it may be, you're harming your most valuable God-given tool. Your body is sacred, it's a temple of the Holy Spirit, and if you're constantly wrecking your sleep and your recovery, you're not treating your body with its utmost respect that it deserves. It may suck to say no to friends, to miss out on some fun experiences here and there, but ultimately it's going to be worth it because you can still get in a lot of fun with them during the day and get to bed at the proper time. You should value your health and longevity enough to say no to staying out late if you know that's going to mess up your mood and productivity for days to come. Okay, step 3. Now, you guys are probably going to laugh at this one, and I get it. I did too at first, but that's making your bed. And before you roll your eyes at me, let me explain. So I thought it was dumb too. I was like, how can that actually make me more productive? It's such a small task and I can be productive without it, right? Well, the stats show that if you make your bed, you're way more likely to be successful and to overall be happier. So because of these stats, I thought I'd try it out and just see what happened with me for like just a week at first. And it really is amazing how much such a small change can make in your life. The reason it's so effective is because you're knocking out a simple task right after you wake up, which makes you feel accomplished. It motivates you to be more productive throughout the entire day since you're already moving in the right direction and building up momentum. Makes killing that momentum later in the day hurt even more and makes you less likely to do it. Knocking out a couple of small, simple habits in the morning sets you up for a much more productive day. Now, it sounds dumb, I get it, but just trust me on this one. Try it for maybe a week or two and see how it makes you feel. See how accomplished you feel afterwards in the morning. Now, step 4 is tracking every single minute of your day. This sounds extreme, but let me explain. I use this planner every single day to help me stay on track and knock out everything that I need to get done throughout the day. I'll also have it down in the bio for you to download and use for yourself if you'd like. I hear so many productivity bros say, just write down maybe 8 simple tasks to get done throughout the day, and that's all you need. Anything else is going to clutter your brain, so you only need those things. But for me personally, the way my brain works is I would either knock those out right away so that I could have the rest of the day to chill, or I would procrastinate throughout the day and get them all done sloppily at the end of the day and didn't put my best work into them and didn't truly make the progress I could have been making. By tracking what I should be doing every half hour throughout the day and having 3 goals at the bottom for the day and 3 things to improve on, it helps me to stay on track throughout the day and give assignments or tasks the amount of work that they deserve and need. You also feel a lot more guilty if you miss a half hour. Maybe you do something you shouldn't be doing in that half hour. You're scrolling or falling to temptation, whatever it may be. You feel a lot worse about it because you see everything you did throughout the day and there's that one block that you didn't stick to your task. And even if you got the thing done, you feel guilty about messing up that habit because you didn't get to cross off that box. All right, step 5 is cutting out all unnecessary busy work. When I was just starting to get into fitness coaching, I was doing a ton of extra tasks throughout my day that I really thought were productive, but actually weren't. This involves reading studies to learn more about health, reading books on productivity, and watching videos about the content I should be posting and how I should be working. But I wasn't actually applying any of it. I was spending hours learning without actually taking action on what I had learned. Deep down, I really knew the simple steps I needed to be taking to actually make solid improvements, but I wasn't taking them, partially because I was scared and because I didn't feel like I was ready. But the key is taking imperfect action. Whether you know what you're doing or not, you should just get yourself out there, like what I'm doing right now. I have no clue how this video is going to do, but I ultimately decided to make it rather than watching a video on how I should be making this content. And I'm ultimately going to get better by learning through continuously doing something rather than wasting my time watching videos on something I already know to maybe learn one small 30-second bit from a half-hour long video that I'm actually not really going to apply. I'll forget it because I'll watch a bunch of other videos. I got a little sidetracked there. That's my bad. But the point I'm trying to make here is that my productivity boosted so much the moment I cut out all those unnecessary distractions and decided to start taking imperfect action. The way I did this is I chose 4 pillars to live by: faith, fitness, business, and working on my mindset for my sports, which I can apply to literally every other area of my life, and it will help me so much. This means that my absolute non-negotiables were a morning Bible study, reading a godly book at night, whether that be a Christian book, Christian fiction, whatever it may be, something to really feed my soul and help me learn more about the Lord. Going to the gym every day, or doing a recovery routine at my house if I'm not able to get to the gym that day or if it's a rest day. Posting at least one piece of content, hopefully filming another piece, just doing as much as I can for my content and for my business, and doing the mentality work, which only takes between 10 minutes and half an hour, but has made a huge impact on my life. I'll go over that in another video. So basically, I set 4 pillars for myself and try to revolve my entire day around all of those, but I build out my schedule with those 4 things, making sure I have enough work to do everything on the list effectively and productively, and when I have the most mental capacity, and then whenever I get tired, I can work on the stuff that's not as important to me, such as schoolwork or any sort of busy task that I need to get done, replying to emails, scheduling something for next week, anything like that. So I know I went over a lot of information in this video, so I'm going to break this down into just a compressed version that you can easily apply and take action on over the next 30 days. Because you can watch this video, but it means nothing if you don't apply it. And you're going to watch this video and then come back in 30 days and think to yourself, well, nothing happened. This doesn't work. No, it does work. I guarantee it 100% it will work if you take action on everything I say, okay? Because watching the content doesn't make you actually follow through with it. Remember what I said. My productivity increased as soon as I stopped consuming and started taking action. So you need to treat this video differently than all the other videos you've watched today and actually apply everything you learned to change your own life. And I guarantee it will change your life. All right. So 30 days challenge broken down to 5 simple steps. Cut out social media completely for the 30 days. I don't want any excuses. If you absolutely need it for content or for marketing or anything like that, then put a 5-minute limit on it so that you have enough to post, but not to scroll. Completely cut it out cold turkey for a month. After that, you can introduce it again with limits, but completely gone for the first month. Next, you should be going to bed within the same hour every single day. So whether that be between 8:30 and 9:30 is what I've been doing recently, or 9:30 and 10:30 if you're more productive a little bit later. But staying in that general time frame is going to make your body release the healing and the growth signals through regenerative pathways to help you have more energy, more focus, more concentration, all of that. All right, step 3, make your bed every morning. If I'm going to guess, this is the one you're most likely to skip, but also one that you should definitely do because it can make a big difference. You're going to feel so accomplished. You're going to knock out a task within the first 5 minutes of waking up, and it's going to fuel your whole day in a productive spiral. Step 4, use the planner linked below or something like it to track literally every minute of your day. Block out all your distractions and temptations by sticking to a simple plan with absolutely no negotiation. And step 5, pick 3 core pillars, 3 or 4 core pillars to align your entire life around. If something doesn't line up with these, then it's probably busy work. Obviously, there are doctor's appointments or different things that will come up, but generally your day should be focused around that stuff. And if you're not directly building yourself up in those areas, then it's most likely busy work. A simple rule that I've seen work for a lot of people is thinking 1 habit for health, 1 for fitness, and 1 for finance. So health, fitness, finance. Those are 3 areas that are always going to be super important in your life. And if you can master all of those, then everything else is going to seem to fall into place. So if you actually really follow this strictly for 1 month, I guarantee that your productivity is going to skyrocket. But don't just make this another video that you watch, say, oh, that sounds great, and then hit the next video. Keep watching the next video. Don't do that. Take this video as a sign to actually make the changes that you need to make and that you've known you needed to make for a while, that you've wanted to make to become the best version of yourself. And if you found this helpful, which I really genuinely hope you did, subscribe and follow me on Instagram for more tips on how to build a bulletproof mind and body. If you're ready to take the next steps towards building an unbreakable mindset, DM me the word bulletproof and we can talk about the next steps to completely transform your mental and physical health through one-on-one work and accountability. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.